It's day three of the Headingley Test match, and as it is always referred to, which is also the moving day of the Test match. Hello and welcome to the Federal. You're watching our special show, Inside Edge, with respect to the India-England Test Series, and this is your very own Jasprit Bumrah. So at the end of stumps on day two, it is hard to say which team holds the edge, or rather, should one say, has taken up the complete grip of the test match. On one hand, there will be India, who will be saying, hey, listen, we have come to your backyard, we have scored 471 runs, and you are already 3 wickets down, plus you are still going into the day three, you are 262 runs behind our score. But on the other hand, England will say, though you were at one stage 440 for 3 or 4 wickets, but we managed to pick up the last 4 or 5 wickets for nothing. We stopped you, and you couldn't breach the 500-run barrier, which could have been a mental barrier as well for England. And at the same time, we have already scored over 200 runs. So that means we just require a good solid partnership. And this test match could very well be ours. Which team holds the edge, or rather, which team holds the cards? You let us know in the comment section, because I'm going to break down as to what can happen on day three of the Leeds Test. As far as India goes, well, their formula to succeed in Headingley Test is very simple. Get those 7 wickets as early as possible, because this England batting lineup can crumble on day four if you have a substantial first innings lead with you. That means that for India to dictate terms in this test match, they require someone to stand up, and that someone could not be Jasprit Bumrah. I mean, could not only be Jasprit Bumrah, because he's the one who has put his hand up and said, hey, listen, guys, I have taken up 3 wickets, but I need support from the other end. Something which former Team India head coach Ravi Shastri also mentioned in his post-match briefing, which means the other bowlers, which are Mohammad Siraj, which is Prasidh Krishna, Shardul Thakur, Ravindra Jadeja. If they are there just for numbers, then it's a different game, because what happened in Australia could very well repeat itself in England, because India already has plans in place to make sure that Jasprit Bumrah only plays 3 test matches. This means the likes of Joe Root, the likes of Ben Duckett, the likes of Jack Crawley. By the way, did you manage to see the delivery which got Zach Crawley out? Oh my God. That has to be one of the ripper deliveries you could ever see. If you haven't, please go and watch it again, because it also happened to Ollie Pope as well. It also happened to Joe Root, even the best of batters around there. Let's keep it one thing very straight, and which Mark Wood, while also commentating for the local sports channel, also said that there is no better bowler in world cricket than Jasprit Bumrah, and it is very hard to deny that. You can be good in white ball, you can be good in 50-over cricket, but to be excellent, and that's not an understatement for someone like Jasprit Bumrah, to be excellent and number one across all 3 formats, at least in this day and age, well, hats off to you, Jasprit Bumrah. But coming back to the test match, coming back to where the test match stands, India needs their bowlers to stand up other than Jasprit Bumrah as well, for them to take the remaining 7 wickets and also the second innings 10 wickets of England team. Well, they require Mohammad Siraj, they require the others to stand up for sure. Because, and most importantly, friends, if you agree with me, comment, please comment in the comment section about India's slip catching, which I felt was a huge letdown. Yashasvi Jaiswal, Ravindra Jadeja, someone who is as safe as a bank, also drop catches. Well, dropping catches is not an issue, but if this carries on, then your possibility of winning this test match. Just imagine, Ollie Pope registered his 7th test match 100 yesterday, and he was dropped 3 times during his innings. He's still there. He might hurt you even more. What if England were 200 for 5 or 210 for 6 or something like that? Then India would have thought that, yes, this test match is not going anywhere. Because do remember, in Headingley, in particular, in Leeds, the weather changes very quickly, as it was seen yesterday as well. In the first session, when it was bright and sunny and shiny, well, the Indian batters make hay. You saw Rishabh Pant, possibly or arguably the best celebration in the house, with a somersault. I mean, like that was one. That was one to remember for sure. But at the same time, you had the solidity of Shubman Gill, and in England, that is the case. If one session you are ahead, it is not important, or rather, it is not a necessity that you will stay ahead in the test match. Because had that been the case, India would have been eyeing somewhere between 500, 550, or even 600. You never know. But that couldn't happen because England roared back in the second session, post-lunch session, and they quickly dismissed India, or rather picked up the last 5 or 6 wickets for nothing. And India was all out for 471, a scoreline which should have been 550 at least, because you were riding high. You had this huge partnership between Shubman Gill and Rishabh Pant. You had the team on the mat, and now you have given England a chance to come back. Yes, you have already taken 3 wickets. Yes, you have dismissed Joe Root. Yes, you have dismissed Zach Crawley, but that means for nothing because this England batting lineup has a huge number, or rather is an extended version. They have someone like Ben Stokes still waiting out in the wings. They have Chris Wokes who can bat. They have the wicketkeeper batter also waiting in the wings. So they can bat till 8, 9, and 10 as well. So this by no means can India say that we have our firm grip on the test match, because day 3, as I said, is the moving day of the test match. And moving day means either England or India will take, or rather will strengthen its grip on the test match. As far as England goes, what should be England's strategy? Well, the England strategy should be to bat around Ollie Pope. Yes, he has been lucky, and they will be very, very wary of Jasprit Bumrah, or possibly his first spell. He'll be fresh. He would have taken the night's nap. The physios would have done work on his body to keep him fresh, to keep him energetic, to keep him going. And Jasprit Bumrah will be roaring to go. And what we saw of him in Australia, I hope we don't see in England, because what transpired yesterday, one thing was crystal clear, that this bowling attack, even in test matches, is nothing without Jasprit Bumrah. You could see the shift in body language of the England batters when you are batting against someone like Mohammad Siraj, when you are batting against someone like even Mohammad Shami, or even Prasidh Krishna. They are far more relaxed because they know that the chances of them getting out to these bowlers is very, very minimal. But their body language transforms completely when they bat against Jasprit Bumrah, because against Jasprit Bumrah, every delivery is like an event. You don't know what's coming next. Yes, the action is different. Yes, you could see there is a jump in his stride. Yes, you could see the batters, thinking. Jasprit Bumrah is a bowler who makes sure that the batsmen or the batters are thinking constantly about him. And that is what makes him great. You have seen several greats in the past, the likes of Imran Khan, Wasim Akram, Curtly Ambrose, even from Indian context, Javagal Srinath and others, who used to make batters think as to what is coming next. And that is where they picked up wickets. And Jasprit Bumrah is doing exactly the same. But can India just rely on him? Because there is also second innings in store. And if weather changes once again, we have seen in England how the innings score decreases as you go ahead. So for India, it is imperative, and I repeat that, it is imperative that India takes a substantial first innings lead, maybe in excess of 100 runs, because that will put extra pressure on England going into the fourth day, or rather into the fourth innings, because anywhere close to 300 runs chasing, it's not going to be easy. But England has done it in the past, and India has also defended in the past. So this is promising to be an exciting test match. This is promising to be a test match that will have its ups and downs. The best part for me was Jasprit Bumrah getting Joe Root out for the 10th time. You always compare batters versus bowlers. You have seen in the past Shane Warne versus Sachin Tendulkar. You have seen Glenn McGrath versus Brian Lara, Brett Lee versus Sachin Tendulkar. You saw Lasith Malinga versus Virat Kohli. So you always compare eras. You always compare the best of the generation. And Joe Root is the best batter, test batter of this generation. Undoubtedly, man with over 13,000 runs, being forced to think against a bowler who has dismissed him now 10 times. I think only one bowler has dismissed him more, 11 times. I think it's Josh Hazelwood or Mitchell Starc. I don't know exactly. But If that is the case, then Jasprit Bumrah would love to have Joe Root's wicket for one more time in this test match, maybe in the fourth innings. But let's come back to reality. The reality is that right now India is 262 runs ahead. They need 7 wickets, and the first session is going to be extremely, extremely critical for both the sides. The one that wins this first session is likely to take, or rather tighten its grip on Headingley Test match. And whoever wins this Test match, because it's a long series, I mean, like, it's a 5 Test series, but to always draw the first blood, you need special people to stand up. You saw Rishabh Pant's 100, you saw Shubman Gill's captain's knock, you also saw KL Rahul's gritty 42 runs, and you also saw Yashasvi Jaiswal. So the first innings is done and dusted. First innings for India, they have done pretty well for themselves. But now that this is where the test match is heading, the way test match is heading, it is very, very critical for India to ensure that they don't let England off the hook. England is under pressure. Make no mistake about it. They are playing at home. They are 262 runs behind. Yes, there is someone called as Ollie Pope still. Yeah, they will play baseball cricket, but that is where Jasprit Bumrah, like he said before the start of the series, that is where lies the opportunity. So the greats always see what others couldn't, what others can't, rather. So, what do you think about how day three will unfold? Will it be an India's day that will define the test series, or rather the test match, or will England continue to dominate? The conditions are still good for batting, but one good session for either teams, and this test could be decided. That's all what we have for you in this live. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And for all the updates regarding England versus India, you know where you need to come. Thanks a lot for watching this video till the very end.